I'm quite sure since the day you were born, because you've just got that personality. But, you know, you're just, I'm not going to say you're lucky, because some people turn around and look at you and say, look at you, he's crazy, he's all over the place. But, you know, for you, it's comfortable and you like it. For other people, it's not comfortable. So how do we...
Well, I think the thing is to be able to stop and turn inwards and just stop and breathe. You know, I mean, yeah, it does. I look like I'm doing all these different things, and I am, but there's a time when I turn it off and I just reflect inward on what I want, what I've achieved, and how that fits into the people around me and the world. And it's like one skill that's really important to have if you want to succeed at anything is to be okay with yourself. And to
that's kind of the first step, isn't it? Is that kind of the first thing? You've got to understand who you are first, within and without, of whether you lie, whether you cheat. And if you start lying, you've got to bear those things within. So you've got to be careful, right?
You have to tell the truth. You have to be a best friend. You have to be willing to get hurt and run over and be willing to be resilient from that. And get back up and do it again and do what is right, regardless of the cost. Do what is right. And when you do that, it opens up doors. And a lot of people don't like to believe it because it takes a lot of work and a lot of commitment. To be successful requires a lot of work. And a lot of people don't really want to do that work. When you talk to them and you're, you know, like I will give colleagues that come to me with possibilities for projects and they want a strategy for success for it, and I give it to them and they're like, oh, but I don't want to have to do that much work. Well, then don't do it.
Why are you doing it? Then don't do it. But did you not teach? You used to teach voiceovers, didn't you?
I teach a lot of different things, and yeah, I mean, I do teach voiceover coaching and acting. I teach acting, you know, and how it applies to voiceovers is one method, and how it applies to on camera and stage are two other methods. So. But do you
think it's kind of luck for people to have a breakthrough? Do you think it's a luck thing, or do you think, what do you think it is? Is it talent? Is it luck? Is it the person's personality? What is it?
True luck is the meeting of opportunity and preparation. Yep. So there's no such thing as luck without doing preparation. Yeah, I mean, you might get a quick break, but if you aren't prepared for that, it's not going to last. If you're prepared, that break gives you the opening to start climbing the ladder from there. Don't you think, Chris?
Absolutely. One of my childhood heroes was Luciano Pavarotti, the great tenor. And he said that key to his success was singing more beautifully every day. And every time that he had an opportunity to sing, he had to remind himself to sing more beautifully every day. So that when the time came for him to make a debut at a particular house, he said, I must sing beautifully. When he got another opportunity to sing at another house that he'd never sung at, like the Metropolitan, he said, I must sing even more beautifully. So it is the preparation and, of course, being in the right place at the right time.
Absolutely. And also, you know, we have an audience out there which is all over. I don't know who's reaching us and who's listening to us, but I do know there's a lot of people out there that are, and they're probably interested in how this all works and to sort of bring them into what we're talking about and how we can help them. And, you know, we live in Los Angeles and you're in San Francisco, but we're in Los Angeles where it's the sort of the hype of all this stuff that we're talking about. But at the same time, somebody that's sort of, you know, in another country, how would you help them to be successful in their own sort of kind of way, to give them a break or to get them out there, just to encourage them to get out and get going and just do it?
Once again, I think that you know, if you really want to do something, you have to want it so bad that you're willing to do it on your own at a level that you can create on your own, and tell somebody, and put it out in enough places where somebody who's just a little bit higher up than you on the food chain will recognize that work and honor that work. And once you've taken that step, I think it's unrealistic to think you can go from point 0 to point 10 instantaneously. I think that's an unrealistic expectation. I don't think it's healthy. And, well, it may have happened for a few people. The majority of the people in the world, that's not the way it works. And so we need to break down that sort of like fairy tale
expectation.
Yeah, it's a fairy tale expectation. And we have to keep that fairy tale dream, but realize to achieve that dream, We've got to take the baby steps. It's got
because
to be baby
it's
steps.
not such a it's not such a yeah. It's not such a fairy tale. It's reality. And I think when they understand,